Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro the Dragon Part 6. So we're just scratching or scraping the bottom of the barrel here to collect whatever is left of the Peacekeeper's world. There isn't really much left at all. I just have to get that key so I can open up that chest. And there's one more level here too we haven't tackled yet. Oh boy, it's one of the most iconic levels in the entire game. Ice Cavern. Oh, I have so many fond, nostalgic memories for this one level, where I spend hours and hours all day, every day, just exploring the level and trying to find how to get to that mysterious platform. It seems to be magically flying. Well, it's not really magically flying, but it seems to be like far away, obscured from the rest of the level. The only way you can get is if you jump off a very specific platform at a specific time. There's also these large enemies around here too. You can easily pound Spyro to the ground and flatten him. This level kind of reminds you a little bit of those ice levels from Crash Bandicoot 2, where Crash would like walk around these. Of course, Crash Bandicoot isn't very exploration-oriented, but it kind of was. A lot of it involved, because I remember Crash Bandicoot 2 going for the challenges, having to go for every level without breaking a single box. If you break a single box, you pretty much have to reset the entire level. Well, that's almost like playing a Spyro game without collecting any gems. It's not even possible. I've seen challenges like that with some LEGO games. Can you beat LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga without touching a single stud, or without pressing the jump button, or without doing a single thing? I've seen people play with games like that. I wonder if it's possible to get through this whole game without touching a single gem. Actually, it wouldn't be possible, because you have to collect gems to progress to the next world of the game. Maybe someone could do like a test, like, oh, see if you could get through each level of the game without touching a single gem. Maybe if you didn't, if Spyro didn't have sparks flying around from that, probably couldn't be possible, because it's much harder to collect gems in this game when Sparks is with Spyro, because he only has one health left. Spyro, this is the kind of level that made Spyro such a household name, of running around in circles all the time and trying to find stuff or trying to look for stuff. I think a lot of people have nostalgic memories for that very reason. A lot of people, and to this day, Spyro is kind of a forgotten character these days. No surprising. He's like Sonic the Hedgehog or Rayman. He's like one of those, or even Pac-Man. He's like some character that may have been big a long time ago, but people kind of forgot him. He was kind of lost to the sands of time. I remember mentioning Spyro the Dragon once in some high school English class, and the teacher saying, Spyro the Dragon, who is that? Is he some sort of wrestler or something like that? And then years later, I pretty much saw that exact same quote in the movie, what was it called, Spider-Man No Way Home, when the young Spider-Man, or what's his name, the Tom Holland Spider-Man says to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire that he was in the Avengers, and he's like, cool, the Avengers, what is that? Is that a band or something like that? It's kind of like that, but with Spyro. Is that a wrestler or something like that? Who's Spyro the Dragon? A lot of people don't know who he is anymore these days, and to be honest, I kind of blame him for that. I don't really blame him for that at all, because Spyro the Dragon, like I say, most of his games after the PS1 era weren't that good. He kind of deserved to fade into obscurity after that. And at least Spyro got more games released worldwide than Jumping Flash. Jumping Flash only had 4 games in total. One of them was a crappy spin-off, and the third one only which got released in Japan. Same with that crappy spin-off. Only 2 Jumping Flash games ever got worldwide releases. And for Spyro 1 and 2 actually did get Japanese releases, but they really broke Spyro 1 in the Japanese release, because for some reason they thought the camera angle scheme that this game has, or this is the American version of Spyro the Dragon, they thought that this camera angle thing wouldn't really appeal well to Japanese gamers. They completely changed the angling thing, so it's almost like that Universal theme park game on the GameCube, where the camera's just like fixed on one corner of the room, or fixed right above. You can see Spyro running around. The game is actually kind of hard to play, and it's kind of hard to play. It's hard to control Spyro properly, make him control him properly. It's all because of the camera angle. Whoever knew that one little seemingly insignificant thing could completely break a game just because you change it. People don't really think about your camera angles in a game, but camera angles are everything in a game. I mean, sure, most people overlook the fact that Super Mario 64 had some of the worst camera angles in any game ever. And yet, that game's considered to be an iconic classic by a lot of people's standards, and Spyro has way better camera angles. Well, this version of Spyro, that is, has way better camera angles than Mario 64, but someone broke them, and Japan broke them, apparently, by giving the angles, the game angles are different. Because of that, Spyro wasn't actually that successful in Japan, for a very dumb reason, all because of those camera angles. This is why you don't tamper with something that's good. Don't fix what isn't broken. If something actually works well, you should just stick with it. If only people that made the later Spyro games knew. If the people that made the later Spyro games knew about what made these Spyro games so awesome, they should have just kept making games like these. But yeah, they could add new stuff in there every now and then. Like, don't give us the exact same thing over and over again. But the later Spyro games, they would have been way better if they were more like this. Just about any failed 3D platform ever made would be a lot better if it was like Spyro the Dragon. This game should be used as like a top-notch example of what to do to a 3D platformer. How do you make a 3D platformer? Go play Spyro the Dragon if you want to know what a 3D platformer should be. There's no bad camera angles in this version of the game. It's very like straightforward. Well, somewhat straightforward. Collecting all the gems and then defeating enemies. And so that Stuart Copeland had kind of a challenging time playing this game. You actually had to play this game, play for every level of this game, so you can get ideas of what to do for the music in each level. And he said, and I remember him saying, oh, for a 10-year-old boy, this is easy. But for me, ooh, this is a big challenge. I just have to run around and fight these bad guys, defeat these bad guys and stuff like that. Like, it seems like a really big challenge. Yet to people like me, that's nothing, because I've played this game millions of times over and over again. I've played tons of games over and over again. I'm a master. I'm pretty much a gaming master, essentially. I play games so often that my skills are like some of the best skills. Well, I don't like a grandmaster, but I consider myself to be a master, considering all my countless years of experience while playing these games, especially this game, particularly Spyro the Dragon. I've played a lot over the years.
Ready for what?
And this level really does test like, it's a really big, like, testament to my skills. Because a lot of this game's skills, I said before, it's not so much fighting enemies. Fighting enemies is actually the least challenging thing about each level in this game. It's really trying to find absolutely everything. And of course, I'm kind of being like a completion freak, I guess you call myself that, a completionist kind of thing, 100% complete. Has to find absolutely everything, have to travel through every single nook and cranny in the entire game, and find absolutely everything that the game has to offer to get the game 100% complete. Yeah, I'm giving this game the full treatment, something I still never gave to Super Mario 64 to this very day. There's 120 power stars in the entirety of Super Mario 64, and the most amount of power stars I've ever captured in Super Mario 64 was 119, just one power star short of having the one game. I don't even remember which power star it was that I never got in Super Mario 64. I still find hard to believe to this very day that I ever did that in Mario 64. I've revisited the game a few odd times since then. I've played Super Mario 64 all the time back in 2012. When I was new to the N64, and I just got N64 the Christmas before, and I was just new to playing the game and stuff like that, and learning what Super Mario 64 is, and I actually managed to get 109. I was like a novice back then compared to how I am today at games, and I actually got 119 power stars in that game, and to this day, I still don't know how I did that. I still struggle at games a lot of the time. Even when I was revisiting Spyro 3, I sometimes wondered how I got this game more than 100% complete back in 2012. And I started to realize I think I was a much better gamer when I was younger back in those days. I think my skills were a lot better. It's almost like I got a demotion almost in my gaming. If there were such things as ranks as gamers, it's almost like getting a demotion. I used to be such an awesome gamer, but now I fell from grace and I'm not as good anymore. Gaming? Well, these videos clearly prove that to be wrong, because I just did this last week. I actually spent 4 hours straight sitting there playing nothing but Spyro the Dragon. And the next day I sat there for 2 hours, and I got the game more than 100% complete. I think it's all the gems in this level. Yep, this level is now 100% complete. This overall game is now 32% complete, just 1% short of being a third of the game completed. Yeah, a third of the game is already finished. This game's going by pretty fast, actually, because, I wonder if anyone's ever done like a 100% speed run of this game. It probably is a 100% speed run of this game somewhere. I don't really see 100% speed runs. It's almost an oxymoron. A 100% speed run, a speed run where you get absolutely everything in the game. Can you really do that in a very fast speed? I mean, technically, yes, you could. There probably are times set up for that, like how fast someone did something. I still wonder what the time records are for the original Jumping Flash. Never looked those up, nor have I ever looked them up for any game ever. I remember there was someone posted like time records someone once posted time records once for the PC version of Twisted Metal, the original Twisted Metal, and I remember that guy, was his name, Fiendly, he broke those records easy, because he's the only person that ever did speedruns of the PC version of Twisted Metal, so he doesn't really have any competition, really. And someone had to mod that Twisted Metal PC game so it could run on Windows 10. which I think is what he was probably using to play the game. Some people say, well, if you're going to be playing Twisted Metal on an emulator, the PS1, Twisted Metals 1 and 2 on an emulator, then you might as well just play the PC version. No, I'm not going to play the PC version because the PS1 versions are significantly better. Because the PC versions are really dumb. Like, you can't use passwords. You can only save your progress, like, onto the actual hard drive, and it saves how many lives you have. There's no way to earn new lives. If you lose your lives, you're stuck having to beat the game. They're pretty much stuck having to beat the game with one life, pretty much. Or at least you're not supposed to allow to get killed as many times as you would be allowed to in the PS1 version. I sometimes wonder if that's what they intended all along, that they weren't able to program that specifically, because those games, the first three Twisted Metals, used only passwords, so maybe that's why, because passwords can only go so far with programming because the password pretty much just has a string, like a line of text that reads, oh, enter this in and it will take you to this progress point of game. A memory card kind of works in a similar manner to that too, only a memory card's a lot more sophisticated, and it's more capable of running computer mathematical functions that can know exactly where in a game to, how to save your progress exactly, so you always start at an exact point. Like a lot of PS1 games remember how many lives you had. Like Super Mario 64, where the game doesn't remember how many lives you've last had, this game does. It always remembers how many lives you have. That's why it's easy to get 99 lives in this entire game. And yet, for some reason, when I've tried playing Twisted Metal 3 on PCSX, it was EPSXE 205, the EPSXE for Windows 10. For some reason, my passwords don't seem to work in that game. I was checking, I did get them absolutely correct. But I didn't accept any of my passwords that I got from the games. I couldn't really do much with Twisted Metal 3. Unless you're just that good that you can beat the game without getting killed. Or running out of your lives, which I'm not that big of a master to do that without destroying everything or getting through the whole game without getting killed. I actually did do that once though with Thumper, I remember, and I even proved it too. I actually did. That was when I did my Twisted Metal 3 Let's Play nearly 2 years ago. I actually got through the whole game without needing to use any passwords. So actually, I guess I could kind of get through that game without using any passwords. What am I saying? Just talking about nonsense now. This level is a lot of nonsense too. We're introduced to, I'm not sure if we saw those things, where those fan things, those weird fan things, you have to breathe fire on them a bunch of times. They spin around and break and they shoot out gems. And there's these weird wizard things that keep making the platforms, they keep making the land masses go up and down, up and down. They always do it to mock you, to make it be like, you can't get me. So it's like you're the frickin' Wile E. Coyote trying to run after the Roadrunner, and it turns up the wall or something down, something that hits, and you run right into it. It's like saying, screw you, Spyro, you're not getting to me. You're never gonna get everything in this game. That's what it makes it seem like. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.